Are your hearts easily corrupted? Let's find out. Wes, hi everybody and welcome to yet another video. 'Tis time to think again, my friends. And of course, because this is European law, 'tis time for a controversial video. Yes, I think that you have got used to me having controversial takes, my dear friends. And do you know why? Because I don't find it worthy. I don't find it worth my time to just make clickbaity, grabby videos about each and every single nonsense that I see on social media. I want my videos to make you think. I want my videos to make you argue, not with yourselves, of course, but with me. And not argue like fight, but converse, communicate, to engage in an intelligent and educated discussion. We are, after all, intelligent human beings, aren't we? But to the matter of hand, a couple of days ago, I made a video, very excited video, about the Shadows of the Empire, the book and a comic book and a game from the 1990s that was supposed to be like really one of the main grabbers as far as the expanded universe, Star Wars expanded universe goes. And I named the video something like, do you want to get excited about Star Wars again? Because I firmly believe that you can still get excited about those beautiful things that we have always loved, and that have unfortunately seen very unpleasant and of a very low quality additions lately. Additions, I mean prequels, sequels, rip-offs, and whatever, made by huge corporations that are milking one of the same IP over and over again until the other is completely dry. Even if people don't like it, even if the final product is of a very low quality and has got nothing to do with, the original. And that, of course, people are tired of it, people don't like it, people don't want to have anything to do with it. But I still believe that if you possess a copy of a DVD, a VHS, or whatever, of the original films, you can still watch them standing on their own, because standing on their own with no connection to the new things, they are still fantastic. And then, of course, the majority of the responses to that video was very negative, which of course I don't take personally. It wasn't negative towards me, it was negative towards Star Wars. And people were like, oh no, Star Wars is dead, let it die. And I'm like, what's that? I mean, all of a sudden, all of the people repeating one and the same line, let it die, let it die. And I was like, what's the origin of that particular catchphrase right now? Was it an influencer who came up with it, or has it become a cultural zeitgeist on its own with no specific patient zero? So I posted it on Twitter, and Bounding Into Comics, they responded with a line from one of the Star Wars sequels, when Kylo Ren says basically the same thing, forget the past, let it die, and so on and so forth. And I was like, really? Like, people are quoting this? And then people are like, other people have responded something else, and I was like, so where does it come from? And then, of course, because this is European law, many people have responded with various things. And I was like, all right then. So let us take another example and see if you agree with me. So let's say that you focus on not Star Wars, but on Tolkien. Let's say that you focus on The Lord of the Rings. So are you suddenly going to stop enjoying the books, The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and The Silmarillion, and everything that Tolkien wrote, including his academic essays and his translations and things like that, because of the Rings of Power? And before you say something, before you start typing, no, it is not the same thing. There is a story that was conceived by, in the case of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, all the history of Arda and the stories of Arda, Tolkien's world. It was conceived by one man, written by one man, and then edited, in the case of the Silmarillion, the Unfinished Tale, so on and so forth, edited, put together, and published by Christopher Tolkien. So 2 men. In the case of the original Star Wars films, which I consider the first 6 Star Wars films to be the Star Wars, because I also grew up watching the prequels. So I love prequels on their own. People are like, oh, now when I look at the sequels, I love the prequels. Well, I loved the prequels in the first place. So yeah. So in the case of those 6 films, it was Lucasfilm, the original Lucasfilm, conceived by George Lucas with his team. But he was like, the main man. Full stop. And then other people got their hands on it. In the case of Lucasfilm, it was Disney. And in the case of Tolkien stories, it's going to get interesting. It is going to happen. It hasn't happened yet in its full extent. But John Ronald Reuel Tolkien's gone. Christopher Tolkien's gone. And what's left is vultures. What's left is huge corporations. What's left is the Tolkien estate. And they don't give a flying toss about the legacy of their forefathers. All they care about is their 30 pieces of silver. All they care about is the shekels. All they care about is the fat check. And so they will sell everything. And so Warner Brothers, Discovery, or whatever it is now, they are going to milk that cow endlessly. And I have made a video about that a couple of days ago, where David Zaslav, the CEO of Warner Brothers, explicitly said, we have not exploited Lord of the Rings and some other franchises like Harry Potter to their full extent and full potential, and we have to do that. So in a couple of years, when there is a million, billion, gazillion nonsensical spin-offs of the type of the Rings of Power that has got nothing, absolutely nothing to do with the original thing, with the Lord of the Rings, as written by Professor Tolkien, are you suddenly going to be saying, let it die? It's past. I'm not going to even enjoy the original books. Or, some people, I'm not even going to enjoy Peter Jackson's trilogy. Now, I want you to think. Please, just don't cast this theory into the fire immediately. Think about it. Think about the similarity. Think about the links. Think about the possibility that this might happen with the way people are thinking today. Are you so easily influenced that you watch? And I'm not talking to anybody specifically. So remember, whenever I say, are you really going to do that? Or are you really thinking like that? Whoever gets insulted is that person. So, do you really think that we should throw away good art because some hacks are trying to leech on it? Are you so really easily influenced by all the influencers who keep watching the Disney stuff and reviewing it just so they can get clicks? I know a guy on Twitter who was like, oh, Disney's dead, Disney's dead, Disney's dead, Star Wars dead, every day. And he posts this like all constantly. And then he posts his reviews about Ahsoka. He posts his reviews of Ahsoka, while at the same time saying, let Disney die all day long. Have you seen me making reviews of Ahsoka? No, because I don't give a flying toss. And I could do reviews of Ahsoka. I could pay for Disney Plus for a month, and I could watch that crappy show. Or maybe not crappy, who knows? I could watch that show, but I am not interested, not even for this channel. So think, and let me know in the comments down below what you think. And that will be all. Thank you very much for watching. And Namarie.